Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on when you're watching this video. As you have seen on the previous video, actually, which you can find here on the top right hand corner, basically for our first episode of our journey from Cape Town to Phuket. It ended up actually where we landed in Dubai. So now this is where we're going to pick up the trip, where it's going to take us basically from Dubai all the way to Phuket. So as you can see, then we landed up in Terminal 3 of Dubai Airport. By the time we landed, actually it was just close to midnight. So from there on is that we disembark the plane, and then from there on we're going to be going through basically where we're coming in from the, I think it's called the B gates. From there actually we walked through quite a lot of like duty-free shops, because again that's how most airports make money. From there on, basically what we're looking for was to go to the transfer gates for security. So for us, where it usually starts in Dubai, you start off, so when you're coming off the plane, luckily because we used the jet bridge, so we didn't feel much of the Dubai heat this time around. When you talk about that size matters, size does matter, because now, just let it go through transit, and now we're off to catch a train to, I think, to Terminal 2. Well, other side, because we're still in Terminal 3, if I'm correct, to off Dubai Airport, and then from there, yeah, I'm going to chill at the lounge for a while before our flight. So the camera actually doesn't do justice basically on how majestic this waterfall that's actually right there in the dark is. But from there on, yeah, we got to the out of these massive lifts. Yeah, we got to this great, beautiful basically concourse of the airport. So yeah, when we talk about majestic, this is what we mean. I've never been to Singapore, so apparently it's the most beautiful, bigger than Dubai, but I've never been there, so we shall see one day if I ever get to Singapore. Yeah, but now this is basically one of the concourses in Dubai, DXB Airport. And now off to catch a train to our gate C departure for Phuket. So from now on here, we're just waiting for our train to arrive. So we were going to the B and C gates, that's way, and then you can see as the train approaches. And also the coolest thing actually about these trains is that they are driverless, so there's no engineer actually who's physically on the train driving, but I'm sure like it's controlled somewhere. But yeah, it's actually quite busy, and also it kind of shows you the scale of this. Is not actually moving from Terminal 2 to Terminal 3. This is just in Terminal 3 basically where we arrived. So you get to these trains, they're very nice and clean, and yeah, it was actually quite interesting that I actually didn't even feel like sitting, since I've been sitting for quite a while. So yeah, after sitting for a while, then we decided, you know what, it's time to stand, because literally just moving from one side to another. From gate A, now we're moving to gate B, C, and D. So we need to get off at C and then find the lounge there. And therefore, after cruising for a couple of minutes, we arrived basically at, was actually where the B gates are situated. So one thing actually that I failed to mention, because obviously you're not allowed to have your camera there, that's that actually we did pass here what we call connections or passport control. Basically it's a security check. So once you deplane, as a group, you will be divided. There are people, actually, those who will be staying in Dubai, so they'll be going through, for example, to get their luggage and also to passport control. But for us, basically, we're continuing to our other destinations, then we'll go through connections. And that's basically what actually Dubai is famous for, geologically also, is that it's very central. So it's used basically as a hub for all the flights that are coming in from all over the world. And then it's centrally there, and then from there it's going to depart basically to all other airports around the world. So also as a special courtesy, actually, we had these taxis, so we call them the airport taxis, like golf carts basically, where they just whisked us as literally as we arrived from B gates, because now they were trying to get us to C gates as quickly as possible. There's also another option that you can use actually to get around the airport. So the last time I was here, actually, I used to think you actually have to pay for those taxis, but apparently they can take you, and it literally zoomed us past all the way from B gates to C gates. It literally was quite a walk. It took us just a few minutes. Now we're just off to C22 Rubber Lounge. Just like any major airport, wherever you're trying to go, they'll literally always make you go through duty free, so that in case you want to feel like purchasing something, entering some competitions, you can. Because I was thinking, there was this one saying you can win a Mercedes S500. I'm like, okay, let's enter that. It's a left-hand driven car. I live in South Africa, where we drive on the right hand. Well, we drive on the left hand side, but the steering wheel is on the right hand side. What am I going to do with it? How am I going to get there? Imagine shipping costs for a Merc S500. But hey, the journey continues. Again, off to the favorite, the Travelator. So the inner child in me will always be impressed by Travelators. I just really love them. So the first things first, actually, just before I went to the lounge, I had to check out where our gate C22, basically where it's based, because it's always important to check where your gate is before you go to the lounge, so that you know how far actually you have to travel. So we arrived basically at Baraba Lounge. So there's a number of them also around the airport that you can visit, but this was the closest to my gate, so which is why I chose this one, and also it's another lounge that I have access to. Okay, so latest is the lounge is quite packed, because guess what, at 12 to like 3 a.m. Dubai time, it's actually its peak time. So we are on the waiting list, but at least right in front of the line. So yeah, we shall wait. Well, turns out the wait was not that long. So now basically the tough job was actually just trying to find basically a table where we can sit, and also quite importantly, we're looking for a table where we can be able to charge our devices, but also relax and also be close enough to see the departure screen, so that exactly you know when your flight will be boarding. And therefore now this was actually the view, and this is basically a basic view of how a Maraba Lounge looks like. It's more of a quick transit lounge than a business lounge with many amenities, but yeah. So local time, it's 20 past 2 a.m. Dubai Airport, and it's boarding time for the Phuket flight. So luckily this time around I made sure that the lounge is literally only a few meters away from gate C22 where I'm boarding, so there's not much of a rush or running around. So yeah, another 6 more hours, and now because remember on the first flight we were on the Airbus A380, now we're moving to the Boeing 777 300ER, which stands for extended range. So yeah, it's going to be something quite different from the first one. But yeah, the first one was sitting right at the front. This one sitting right at the back. How cool. Okay, yeah. Oh boy. And how wrong I was. That excitement was quickly dampened, but more for that for later on. So because we're actually sitting right at the back, so we're one of the first zones to actually enter the flight. But obviously they'll usually board first class and business class passengers first, and then they'll board economy. Hence I'm saying can't wait for one day literally when I'm stepping onto that business class or first class flight. And yeah, so again, here's my very nice South African passport. Nothing actually makes you more patriotic actually than holding your own country's passport. Yeah, but then from there, yeah, basically boarding process was quite quick and efficient. So from there on, luckily again, we didn't have to go through a bus. We had to go via jet bridge, which is nice and air conditioned. Trust me, when you're here, you will definitely appreciate every single bit of what you call encounter with an air conditioned basically environment. So yeah, from there on, we were greeted by very nice cabin crew of Emirates. This is actually why I love this airline so much. Yeah, this is me being a fanboy now, but yeah, I really love it. From the service, from the way that they always welcome you in, it's just majestic. So if you're on the left hand side, that's where basically more business class seats and also first class are situated. And then they also make us more jealous that we have to go again through some business class seats. So these ones are actually lie flat seats, so it's almost like a nice, very tiny single bed, but very comfortable. And then from here you see the economy seats, which are in the middle. This is the 3-4-3 configuration, and then here you can dimly see the stars basically, but you will see on a later clip. That's one thing actually that Emirates does well, especially when you're flying at night, or when they ask you basically to close your your blinds. So we're sitting actually on these two seats right in front, and then we had to quickly switch. The reason why actually I had to switch those seats was also because of how I'll actually show you a clip later on. So they have these compartments that you can't actually move. So basically I couldn't fit. Well, I could fit, but it was very uncomfortable. So I really asked, there was a couple actually whose children actually were sitting just in front of us. I asked to swap with them, and they actually agreed, which again, I can never say, wow, like for me, I just want to say thank you to them if they ever see this video. It was a very wonderful gesture. But yeah, then also another thing with the 777 is that actually it has a front facing camera. So which is cool. So whereas the A380 has the Airbus planes 3 facing cameras, which is the tail, and then the one looking down, and then the one at the front. And then right here you actually see here, it says your ICE console. So you can actually use this basically as a remote control, and also if you're playing games here, you can actually use it basically to play the games. You can also use it to call, for an example, the cabin crew, and then it's actually showing you the gestures of what to use. So again, many people have reviewed the ICE system. It's like the best you can ever find in any airline, with literally so much more content than you'll actually ever need in a flight. But yeah, this was cool. So, and also this seat, unlike the A380, this one actually has a full charging plug on the right hand side. And this contraption here actually, so I bought this actually, it's quite cheap for less than 100 Rand. So that would be less than $5. So this actually, it's an adapter so that you can be able to use your own headphones basically in an airplane. So yeah, and then I'm showing you the plug. So this, you can actually bring in your own headphones, and then so that you can be able to use, because it uses a double basically prong. So you just connect it with your own headphones. Trust me, this is way better than using the provided earphones by Emirates, because after a couple of hours they get very, very, very uncomfortable. And yeah, I love my ears. They might be small, but I love them. So yeah, I'd rather use my own headphones. Then you also have a USB charging port right there. Yeah, then also, yeah, there is also onboard Wi-Fi. So if you're a Skywards member, you can actually use it for free. It was horrible, like for me, because I tried to use it, the free version one. Trying to log in, and then you go to, because you're only allowed to use like social media. So I sent a message to one of my friends. It took like one message out. Then they gave us also these menus so that you can see basically what you're going to eat on the flight, which was actually quite a good gesture, especially that you're sitting on economy flight. So also again, they no longer now give out any amenity bags for, as far as I know, for economy. I'm not sure about business class, but before you used to get like a an eye shutter and then toothbrush and some sanitizers and all these things. But yeah, unfortunately they no longer give those out. Yeah, then now it was time for us to taxi. So as we're taxiing out, I can not tell you how tired really I was. Yeah, I was just literally trying to fall asleep. So remember I was telling you about, they have these lights that are like stars. So yeah, for people who actually own a Rolls Royce, you would know actually that, yeah, that's basically what's on your roof. I think it's the Rolls Royce Phantom. I've never been in a Rolls Royce, so I wouldn't know. But yeah, then it was time to basically taxi and take off. You can hear the sound, how loud it was. But thank God for also the front camera, so I can have the pilot's view basically of us going down the runway. I was also quite worried a bit because our V1 rotate was quite far. Actually, it took us quite a long time to actually get airborne. So I think, yeah, either because of the weather, or even though it was clear weather, or also the the weight. But yeah, it was actually a very uneventful takeoff. But then there was quite a lot of turbulence basically as we're moving in. But yeah, this is basically the night skyline of the Dubai airport and surroundings. The nice thing also about Dubai, when you're flying out, you see quite a lot of planes that are just approaching and some that are landing. But yeah, it was quite turbulent here, and then I fell asleep. Yeah, and then I think I missed the first meal, and then yeah, afterwards, then I'm awake, just had breakfast now. Oh my god, the difference between A38 experience and the 777 is huge. I did try to sleep at least like 2 hours on this flight, but it's been a struggle trying to sleep. The seats feel cramped and uncomfortable, and because of this gap, it makes it extremely hard to even try and sleep, because you can't even lean against this because it's so far apart. This is the first time where I'm so looking forward to get to the ground as soon as possible. I think we still have about 1 hour 15 minutes before we land in Phuket. I was telling myself I shouldn't sleep when I land, but at this rate I need the sleep, because for me this has been extremely extremely uncomfortable flight. It's the seats for me, especially if you're a big person. Yeah, they're gonna feel very, very cramped. So just had there's a plane passing. So we just had an omelette, sausage, and spinach breakfast. That was nice, really amazing. So everything else is very nice, just the seats are so cramped and the noise, hopefully you can hear it. So for people who actually know me, they know how much I love planes, but I just couldn't wait to land. So yeah, you can already see here, there's the coastline basically of Thailand. I was just praying, when can you land, because I was really, really feeling uncomfortable. So yeah, then basically it was also a lesson learned that I rather next time when I'm checking in for the return leg, that I'm gonna check in I'll actually use the 3 seats rather than booking the 2 seats. But again, if you're a small frame person, basically it's perfectly fine and perfect, especially if you're only traveling that there's only 2 of you. And then here, as we're approaching landing, as I have a friend of mine, Umsaka, who has actually ruined the word turbulence for me. He calls it potholes. So yeah, basically we're going through the potholes again as we're going through the clouds. But for me, I was like counting down, like, can we get to the ground as soon as possible. Yeah, but then again, the view is always amazing, but it's not nice when the plane is going through clouds because it looks all nice and beautiful, but it's actually very turbulent. So yeah, you can also start to make out actually some of the the coastline and the land of Phuket. I believe these are actually Kopipi Islands or PP Islands, which I actually got to visit at a later stage. So once that video is up, you're gonna see it on the top right hand corner coming up, and then there it is. Yeah, it's actually quite beautiful. Basically, as you're landing, it's almost like you're landing on a different. Yes, it is a different world compared to where I come from, but you don't understand how magical basically this looks. I was like, oh yeah, just couldn't wait, like please land, because I really needed some sleep, like much needed sleep. So anyway, I used the front facing camera to try and actually capture a little bit of landing, but then my camera was not cooperating. I think I ran out of battery, so I had to switch to my phone. And again, please excuse the shoddy camera work. It's because I had to crop in and zoom in so that you can at least be able to see the landing. It's always cool actually. I always believe that if you're someone who's scared of flying, these cameras could make you basically give you less anxiety. As you see there, it's runway 227 that we're landing in. So yeah, this is basically okay. Yeah, please again excuse the shoddy camera work. Yeah, I don't know who was recording that. Yeah, but anyway, it's touchdown Phuket once again. So when you touch down, basically it was actually a rainy day, but don't let the rain confuse you. It was quite hot outside. I think they said it was around 29 or 30 degrees Celsius when we landed. So I think that's around close to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So from here, actually, then we're trying to taxi through the thingy to the airport. But then on the right-hand side, if you look there, there's actually going to be another flight actually that was taking off after us. So that's also a nice thing about smaller airports, which actually reminded me of Cape Town Airport. That's actually what I can compare Phuket Airport to. So yeah, we're just taxiing there. It's raining. Then just waiting for that plane now to just go whoops past. And oh yeah, this actually Sunday Airlines. So there's Captain Obit on Instagram. So he actually he took a video. He flies for Cathay Pacific, flies a 747 pilot. So he showed this thing where this clip of Sunday Airlines, and I was actually quite surprised when I saw there you go, there's Sunday Airlines. Oh, that's the plane actually that's taking off. Looks like a Boeing 737 from what I can see from my side. Yeah, then from there when we stopped, the people then started doing this thing I will never understand to this day. So the moment we stop, people start standing up, they take their bags and then they wait. I'm like, do they realize actually how long it's gonna take? So after all these hours, we finally landed in Phuket. It's 28 degrees Celsius, but it's raining. I thought I was gonna just drop bags and move around. I am so tired. I just want to sleep. Like, I'm exhausted, and if there's one thing I will not recommend, especially again if you're a big person, flying on Emirates, the 777ER, they look cute, but don't take the two seats, the couple seats at the back. So because of the curvature of the plane, these seats actually move away from the wall, so we get this gap right here. So what you can see, it's like huge, so you can't even rest. Trying to sleep, it's like a nightmare. So at least if you keep the three seats in front, then at least it makes it much better. Because at least they're leaning against the wall. Like here, I'm almost leaning across. But overall, obviously, Emirates service is always up there. Economy feels great, but if possible, I always say try always economy on the A380. It's, yeah, I don't think there's any airline that can beat them when it comes to that. So yeah, next, me signing out now from the plane. Next thing we're gonna deplane and then head to the terminal to collect our bags. So yeah, actually here's how the plane looks like without people. It's a 343 seats, and then there's basically the 2 seats that we're sitting in. Luckily here you can actually take off the armrest, like you can move it back. So yeah, again, if you're literally traveling, there's 2 of you, these seats are very comfortable, especially if you're a very nice petite person. Yeah, for the rest of us, yeah, it was not nice at all. But then yeah, the time had arrived for us to deplane the plane. So yeah, here I was checking out which seats basically to check in the next time. As you can see, these ones, the window seats are actually flush next to the wall, so it will make sleeping much easier compared to the last time. Had a cool headgear right there. And from right here onwards, actually, again, you know, Emirates, you know that thing of like where they make you want things. Because I'm like, here, I was staring at these nice business class seats, and you're like, nice fly flat seats, where as well as we get to sit. But anyway, on a normal typical flight, yeah, it's actually quite amazing. But again, it's nice. It also gives you aspirations basically of how you want to fly maybe in the future, in the next year or two. Maybe, you never know, maybe my next review might be actually on Emirates business class. And then from there we actually had to deplane the plane using the air stairs onto the bus. So as soon as you step out here, you can actually feel the humidity. It was raining, but don't let the rain fool you. It was quite hot, basically 28 degrees. So I think that's about 70, yeah, just so about 74, yeah, 74, 75 degrees Fahrenheit. But then again, as I said, the moment you step into those trucks, you get to see. So that's the GE90 engines, and the camera doesn't give justice to how massive those engines are, and also this aircraft. But yeah, it was actually time for us to head to the terminal, and then yeah, just from there on, we're gonna start at actually at passport control. So yeah. Here, this is now again when you're leaving the bus, you feel the humidity, and then again you walk into an air-conditioned space, and then on the right hand side you can actually see the Phuket Old Town, again, which is foreshadowing. So if you actually on the top right hand corner, that's where I'm actually going to put the video once that one is up. So yeah, basically it's foreshadowing an episode that is coming up. So from there on, actually we had to move to passport control. So basically this is where now they check if you have the right paperwork to enter Phuket or not. So when I was here during COVID times, actually it was a different scene where we're sitting and everything, but now it was actually quite more lax as I was coming in. But one thing that I forgot, so I'm busy here trying to record, so yeah, no cameras are allowed in this particular area, especially here for passport control, as the officer here did remind me actually to stop recording. Finally through passport control, now going for baggage claim before heading to the hotel in Patong. But in the meantime, welcome to freaking concentrate. Can't see, okay, I'll edit it so I can see that's welcome to Phuket. So thanks to the weighted passport control, so by the time you actually go to your baggage claim, your bags are actually already there, and then again here, I think it's actually the US so far, the only country that I know that charges for trolleys. So yeah, I was too tired that I actually even missed my name, which was right there. So I went around, then I actually ended up WhatsApping the taxi company that I use. I'm going to link them also in the description. They were very good, very professional. They replied very quickly, and then they told me, actually, no, my name is there. They even sent me pictures basically on how to find the people. So, and there's my name right there. Yeah, again, it was very good. So I'm actually going to tell you a story later on, basically, of the first time how I got scammed while I was here. There's I forgot the name of the scam that they use, but then yeah, we quickly find our taxi driver. So we call these the quantums in SA. Oh damn, this thing is luxurious. It's beautiful. And yeah, it's just the two of us that actually get to ride this to our hotel to Patong. It's very comfortable, air conditioned. They gave us water and everything on arrival, so you can see. They can actually like play music, but I was just way too tired. I just wanted to fall asleep. In fact, I did fall asleep actually on our way to Patong, because from the airport to Patong, it's actually a 50 to 55 minute drive. But then again, yeah, it makes it easier when you pre-book the taxis. Again, I said I'm going to link them. I did it via bookings.com. Again, not affiliated with them, but they gave me a great service with their drivers. So yeah, then it was a nice long drive. Then I fell asleep. I think this is actually the Phuket primary school. But then because when we arrived, it was a Sunday, so there was no school there. But it was quite interesting and nice. And one thing that we quickly noticed in Patong, motorbikes. There are actually people who are actually texting and riding. That's how professional they are when it comes to motorbikes. I don't think I'll be able to do that. But again, once again, thank you very much for watching this episode. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure that you subscribe and like, as more content actually from this trip will be coming up in the future episodes very, very, very soon. Because again, I'm going to be covering basically the full trip of basically what we did, and some of the stories actually that I'm going to be giving out here, basically on things that you can look out for. But it was quite amazing when we arrived there. This is basically our hotel. Was 750, just less than a kilometer away from Patong Beach, which you can see here. Again, there's a future episode of basically Patong Beach that's going to be coming up. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. Once again, yeah, please comment, like, and subscribe. Oh yeah, by the way, there I saw a South African flag. There's quite a lot of South African flags that you see all over around the city here. But yeah, it was quite amazing. But yeah, stay tuned for the next one. This has been On the Road with Lwando, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.